Hello, welcome back. So we are still talking about the CRDB bond program, um, and as promised, we will be bringing you, back sessions on, the details of the information memorandum, basically the investor document that CRDB has already issued to the investment community. And so we have already taken a look at several things, including the general introductions about the bond itself, the amount of money this bond is going to raise, the first tranche, and we have already taken a look at the benefits of the bond, where the money is going to go, and then we have taken a look at the risks pertaining this bond program. We have taken a look at the terms and conditions of the bond. We have taken a look at the taxation, tax implications of you as an investor investing in the bond. And then, of course, we have taken a look at the subscription and sell. And yeah, and also we have taken a look at so many other items. So this session, we're going to cover specifically, we're going to spend considerable time talking about CRDB. Now, of course, we won't go into big details, really. We're going to cover basically information that was presented in the information memorandum with a little bit of juice on top of what is available in there. Yeah, so let's go into it. So what do we have? So we are going to talk about CRDB and what you need to know. So what is that you need to know, really? So you'll need to know a lot of things about CRDB. So CRDB is a banking firm, it's a banking company. So it was licensed by the Bank of Tanzania to undertake banking activities in Tanzania, but also they have operations in Burundi, and they are about to open operations officially in Congo DR. So CRDB's lines, revenue lines are within retail banking, which basically is for serving retail customers. This is me and you, the individuals, but also SMEs, and then of course the corporate banking, corporate institutional banking that is basically there to serve large corporates, the companies, the corporations. And then of course there's a treasury and capital markets. It's basically the department, the part of CRDB that manages their money and the capital, and stuff like that. And of course, one of the latest, products in the which is Al Baraka Banking, Al Baraka or Islamic banking. And on top of it, they have bank assurance managed by CRDB Insurance. So CRDB is the leading leading bank in terms of deposit assets, with a market share of 27% and 25% respectively in Tanzania as of the preparation of the information memorandum. CRDB has 254 branches, the largest in Tanzania, but has more than 500 ATMs, has more than 6,000 point of sales, and has more than 20,000 bank agents. Quite a feat. So these are key shareholders of CRDB. So Daninda Investment Bank, which owns 21%, and then PSSSF, which owns 13%. Other institutional shareholders, including NSSF Uganda, which NSSF Uganda and others, who collectively own 24%, and the general public 41%. Yeah. Let's take more. Let's look at more. So the competitive strength of CRDB included diversity and distribution. So it has the largest branch network, has the largest, number of the biggest number of agents and the biggest number of ATMs, has the one of the largest capitalizations in the banking industry. It is one of the most by far known banking brands in Tanzania, but also they are quite driven by innovation. And by that, we mean CRDB is one of the pioneers of the innovative products in Tanzania, including the establishment of Tembo Card back in the early 2000s. So CRDB was one of the pioneers of the card banking, of the card products in Tanzania. So for now, the plan the CRDB has is to kind of to ring fence the business and focus on customer needs, and that is means, of course, ensuring there is significant customer retention and delivering to the needs of customers as they define themselves as the bank that listens. So CRDB's focus is to kind of cater the needs of the customers. In the future is to strike strategic partnerships with innovative digital platforms, partnerships and innovative digital platforms, including, of course, process simplification and automations. And another key area is sustainability, ESG. ESG stands for environment, social, and environmental, sustainability and governance, to become at the forefront of its investment and capital allocation decisions. So these are the strategic objectives the CRDB has, and this is quite defined in the current strategy that goes to 2027, which is basically digitization across all these transactions and optimization of the balance sheet. And this, of course, includes capitalized stakeholders engagement and technological strength enhancements. Enhancement of customer experience. Again, CRDB is the bank that has devoted quite significant resources on ensuring that they cut to the customer experience through simplification and automation. And this of course includes, and I should specifically mention, the SIM banking platform that is quite one of the most used platforms in Tanzania. So CRDB is adequately capitalized, and by the end of 2022, the balance sheet had 1.297 trillion shillings. CRDB to date, by the time of preparation of the information memorandum, the bank had borrowed both internally and externally in various forms, and as of the end of 2022, the bank had a total debt outstanding of 491 billion shillings. So in terms of liquidity management, so through its ALCO, so Asset and Liability Committee, the bank continues to manage daily funding, maintenance of portfolio of portfolio of highly marketable assets, and this of course includes the loans, maintain reasonable levels of liquidity ratios against operational and regulatory benchmarks. Another thing is managing the concentration and profile of debt maturities, and this is very, very important because in a concentration if the bank is over concentrated in particular sector or in particular asset class, that has adverse effects on its profitability in case of adverse movements in the value of particular assets, and therefore they are managing the concentration of assets and profile of debt maturities to ensure that they have this liquidity they need for their daily operations. And of course, in terms of risk management, the bank takes the enterprise risk management framework, of course, with functional areas managing specific risks. And then, of course, those risks from functional areas are aggregated and assessed and then used to devise the overall organizational risk management strategy. And then for the acquisition and disposals, as of the end of 2022, there were no material, acquisitions or disposals recorded. There is more. There's more to this. So how about who is actually managing this bank? Yeah, so who is actually at the helms of the bank? So the key personnel, now this is just a summary. So the key personnel is Professor Ali, Professor Ali, who is the board chair. And then of course there is Abdul Majid Sekela, the current CEO, who is driving the banking strategy. And Professor Neema Mori, who is the chair of the credit committee. And then of course Hosea Kashimba, the chair of the audit committee, and Jess Clasby, who is the chair on the risk committee, and then Boniface Muhege, who is on the corporate governance and the human resources. So the bank actually has many more directors and has competent management, at the very top. So they are the company with all these proper management in place and corporate governance as well. And the bank has the management that is quite young, and therefore there is a considerable continuity to the driving of this banking strategy. So about the statutory information, so CRDB has been cleared by regulators to issue this bond. Also was incorporated in Tanzania, and has been a PLC since a public limited company since 2009. Has 2.6 billion shares fully paid up at 25 shillings, worth of 65 billion shillings. And then of course, according to assessments of the directors, the bank has sufficient working capital. And then, of course, has approvals from CMSA and BSE. I've already mentioned about that. And then, of course, there is the allotment of the bonds to be purchased by investors to be determined by CRDB. There have never been matters of material changes, none until the publishing of the information memorandum. Well, yeah, so there are material litigation to which CRDB is its party. So the amount contested is basically $63.4 million. And then of course, Tanzania, TZS 50.3 billion shillings. So if you just sum that up to the current exchange, rate, that goes to around 200 billion quite quickly, which is substantial actually. But again, these are some of the cases that are still at the court. So we'll see what happens. So there are some cases where CRDB is sued, and there are some cases where CRDB is suing, and therefore, the net aggregate is not public here. You might want to read the information memorandum to kind of make yourself aware of that. But if you will have any questions regarding this, we are more than happy to direct you to people who can offer you more information. Yes, so that concludes the information about CRDB. And of course, it's very, very important that we take a look at the financials. But let's stop here. If you have any questions, please send those questions to us. Thank you.